What's going on, everybody? Tugi here, back again. And today, as promised in the past, I'm going to shine a little bit of a spotlight on one of the fine creators that we have here in terms of roster editors for NHL 23. We are on the Xbox Series S/X. Keep that in mind. Of course, unfortunately, roster sharing is not cross-platform. It is not cross-gen. I'm begging, I'm pleading for that to hopefully be a thing as soon as next year. But for now, let's quickly mention this before we focus on the task at hand. And actually, I'll end up just bringing this up. Of course, to get custom rosters, you want to go to the roster sharing tab under more, download community files. And the person that we're going to be talking about today is actually the #1 most downloaded creator right now, and that is Vasy, based off of the 4 different updates that there are right now. And I am frankly very, very impressed with what I have seen so far here. To have picked up the ball and run with it while guys like myself and Tactics HD haven't been making our custom files like we did last year. Very, very solid work here that I do highly recommend. As you can tell on the right-hand side of the screen, a lot of created prospects, but also smart enough to have tested around in franchise mode and made adjustments so that the AI teams don't do stupid things. So this is somebody that has paid attention and knows what they are doing. We're going to be checking out update number 4 here a little bit more in depth. That said, I mentioned Tactics. I don't know if he's going to be doing any roster editing this year, but he is still doing a lot of stuff for NHL 23. He hardly needs the plug from me. Odds are, if you are watching this, you very well know who Tactics is, but of course, good friend of the channel, has his Saskatoon Caribou franchise mode. Not the only time we're going to be mentioning the Caribou. Fun fact about that. Other franchise mode people, by the way, of course, I always want to shout out my good buddy Sim for the Win Productions. CYN FTW Productions has a brand new franchise mode going on now as well. Just started. His 2nd episode went up on the day that I am recording this, so go support some of the boys there. There's still some good people doing some franchise mode stuff, and I might just be throwing my name back into the hat sooner rather than later, given that EA have fixed some things with franchise mode, mainly the offer sheet issues. And as well, don't shoot the messenger, don't hold me to this. I'm not saying dead set this day they're going to fix it, but it is my understanding in terms of EA's provided rosters that complaints have worked. Now, in terms of like any massive news, not quite. But one of the things that myself and others have complained about all year long is how the hell did you get height and weight wrong? I believe the next update is going to fix that across the board. So this game wasn't quite what I wanted it to be at launch, but it is getting there, thank God. And for now, let's focus on Vasy's work here. But I just wanted to mention a couple friends of the channel, and of course, what I have going on here as well. Now, for Vasy's stuff, when it comes to whether it be certain overall changes or stuff like that, you can see directly there are already changes. John Gibson is not a 90 overall like he is on EA's files. Trevor Zegras is down, I believe, 3 overall points. So he has made certain changes there that honestly I agree with. Definitely agree with. I'm not going to go over every single team, but Charlie McAvoy is the 92, so Vasy is good by me. But then again, you are named after Andrei Vasilevsky. As my controller just died. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Let's double check Tampa. Do we got any crazy favoritism? No, not really. Most of those are fine. Honestly, you probably could have bumped up guys like Anthony Cirelli a little bit more. I respect it, though. I respect it. One thing I noticed, of course, that guys like Brent Seabrook are still there, which is okay. I mean, you can move them, you can not. It doesn't really matter all that much. So there are going to be changes in terms of overalls and stuff like that. Certain players with different abilities that might not have had them. So that has been done. And of course, as always, whether it's with my rosters, Vasy's, whoever's, you disagree, it's easy enough to change it on your own, except for height and weight, because we can't change those. So there's a great amount of work put in on that front. In terms of junior players as well, not sure how much has been done there. I do believe, of course, Connor Bedard has been made just a little bit better than what EA has him at. So there's been work done across the board on that front. As well, you already saw the whole created player deal, and yeah, he knocked it out of the park with the amount of created players, or should I say they knocked it out of the park with the amount of created players. In frankly, a month's worth of time since NHL 23 has dropped, to have added in this many players is frankly impressive. You know, I have been doing the whole roster editing thing for a very, very long time and know how tedious and time consuming doing this can be. So very, very impressed on that front when it comes to these particular rosters. So good stuff here. I haven't even hit the bottom of the list yet. That's how many players were added in. Of course, my hope as well with waiting for EA's next roster update to really get things going is that hopefully guys like Yaroslav Askarov, they'll have the contractual rights, the licensing to add them in now that they are in the AHL. As always, that is a bit of a holdup every single time. But you can see even guys like Vadim Shipchyov from the KHL, who of course was a Vegas Golden Knight for a cup of coffee, is included there as well. So a tremendous amount of work on that front. Even adding in, certain prospects that, might not have the highest potentials in the world, but still they're there. So definitely respect that. And then I mentioned that Caribou franchise, and shout out to these little Easter eggs. Not only do you have an alternate version of Chicago, which, yes, person after my own heart right there with that change, because that's what Chicago should do. If you're a Chicago fan, you need to disagree. I don't fucking care about your opinion. I'm sorry. But you have the Whalers, you have the Thrashers. There are the Saskatoon Caribou, X-Tech Seattle Storm Bears, and my very own from Goon Squad number 2, the Trinidad and Tobago Goonfish. This is someone who knows they've been a part of the community for a while. The respect is there, and you love to see it. The jerseys, I won't say, I can't say are accurate for any of them in terms of, or at least they might be with Saskatoon, but with the Storm Bears and the Goonfish, they weren't, but it's fine. That is a great little nod to myself and to vastly superior and more talented YouTubers that I have been fortunate on a number of occasions to be, in the same conversation with. So love that. Again, the likes of the Nordiques being there and having the ability to input them with Custom League. And then, of course, a little shout out to certain members of the community there, myself included. It's nice. It's very, very nice. So in general, if you are on the Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X, highly, highly recommend Vasy's work. And of course, down in the comments, let people know if you are on other consoles, what rosters have you tested out, if any, that you would recommend. Let people know where to look. And of course, in the very near future, if I start up my process, again, it's going to take a little bit, probably until 2023. Snipe and Score Productions on YouTube as well. He always has his flashback rosters, and those should be coming out relatively soon. I actually haven't heard from him recently, so I think he's probably grinding it out to get those done. So all of that, just to bring all this to your attention. Again, great work that is being done within the community. Check out Vasy's rosters. Check out other people, of course, regardless of what console you're on. And again, I will hopefully hear from you guys soon. Looking forward as well to seeing what suggestions are in the comments.